grab your coffee, come on over, join Shan and myself, and let's start. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your show where we take the global economy, we dissect it, we put it under a microscope and find out more about the global economy. Now, with the geopolitical risk becoming so much more, we're all feeling those risks and stress going on. So what we want to do is we want to get you guys to know more about the world economy and how the state of affairs is going. So when you look into things, you can make more smarter decisions and better decisions as you go forward. So join us. Let's get started, and I'm so beyond happy to have Shan with me today and for us to start this coffee with Shan and Dante so that we can show you guys, everyone, not just professionals, every one of you, to how you can learn more about the economy and how you can make better decisions. Hi Shan, how are you doing today?
Good morning,
Good
Dante.
to see you.
Thank you for having me in your show.
Always a pleasure,
Yes.
always. It's our show now.
It's our show, yes.
100%. So Shan, would you like to tell our audience something before we start the questioning and everything?
Firstly, it's a brainchild of, this program is a brainchild of Shan Saeed and Dante Azarmi. We sat together and we thought how we should, elucidate and try to educate our valued viewers so that they can understand what is happening in the global economy. As Dante said, how to make smart decisions with limited information. And nowadays in the market, the most important thing is you have got a lot of information, but how do you dissect that information? How do you analyze it? How do you make critical reasoning in order to make smart decisions?
100%.
And in the market, it's all about making smart decisions so that you make profit successfully and smartly. So I think it's a good initiative on part of Juwai IQI, and Juwai IQI has always been in the forefront educating our valued clients, and we are very grateful to our valued clients who have given us feedback so that we should come up with this program and we should enlighten them with our deep insights about the global economic affairs.
100%, Shan. Now, Shan, you have been my mentor in terms of economy, and you've told me how to go through the history of economy, the data. You constantly share wonderful data with me as well. Now, I wanted to ask, for our viewers out there, why is economy such an important subject to learn for not just the professionals, but the layman, from the common man to the middle class, everyone basically?
Thank you. Many people have asked me, what is economics? Shan, tell us in simple English. Economics to me is the art of living. How do you manage yourself in limited resources? Yes, you want Nike shoes, you want Louis Vuitton bag, you want Prada shoes, and you want everything. But how do you manage yourself? If I give you $100, and if I were to say that, Dante, you have to manage yourself for one day in those $100. So you have to think. So economics to me is the art of living. If you can save those $100 and you can survive in one day with those $100, I think you can understand economics very easily. So I follow Milton Friedman.
Oh yes,
one of the one of the greatest Nobel laureates from University of Chicago. So for my economic thoughts and for my analysis about the market, I follow Milton Friedman, and I have been following ever since I graduated from University of Chicago in 2009. So it has been like 15 years now. I have been following Milton Friedman. Whatever I say, I believe in free markets. I don't believe in government intervention. So I think the markets, they have their own set of mechanism to correct themselves.
Agreed.
And Milton Friedman was one of the few Nobel laureates who advocated about free markets.
Of course.
And whatever is happening right now, Dante, you will not believe whatever is happening in the markets right now is exactly what Milton Friedman shared in his book 34 years ago. How central banks will create crisis in the form of inflation. And this is written in this book, chapter 8, page 189. Yeah. So if you just follow Milton Friedman, because Raza has been following this book for quite some time, if you can follow this book, you can be perfectly suitable to understand and to make smart decisions about the global financial markets.
That's true, 100%. I read that book and I loved it. And guys, please, if you can, purchase the book, find it online, whatever you can, read the book. It's excellent. You will have a full forecast of how things are going to happen. Now, Shan, a lot of the people out there, like they want to get into investing. They, like you said, they want the Louis Vuitton bags, they want the Nike shoes. But what the problem for them is that, like myself, when I started, before I got to know yourself and you mentored me into like learning more about the economy, it seems like a huge monster of a subject for them to like, you know, actually learn. So, but you've told me before as well with like how the new technology and things are, how can they learn more about the economy? Of course, aside from joining us on this show, what else can they do to learn more about the economy?
Raza, they can read few magazines and newspapers that I follow. I follow Financial Times newspaper every day, which is here right in front of us. I follow Wall Street Journal. I follow Economist magazine, and I follow Bloomberg Business Week for my economic analysis. And of course, as you know, I appear on regular basis with CNBC and Bloomberg Dubai. So, you know, if you follow or if you watch this program, you should be. The other
I always follow them.
The other website that I follow is tradingeconomics.com.
Oh yes.
Tradingeconomics.com. Trading economics is one word.com. So you get live updates, whether it's equities, whether it's bond, whether it's commodities, whether it's currencies, whether it's cryptos. So in one website, 24 hours, you can go to tradingeconomics.com. that I follow that site on regular basis.
And it gives like live feed all the time.
It gives live feed, live update, what's happening in the market, live currency valuations, you know, equities, bonds, commodities. So these are some of the sites that are magazines or newspapers that I follow, and our viewers can do the same.
That's excellent, Shan. And you know, I've been following them as well, and it's really, really helped me with the whole passive income, with investment, making the right decisions. So I think our viewers can also do the same. And speaking of commodities, which you mentioned, I think today we're going to be talking about commodities and the outlook of the 2024. So basically, can we get into like, you know, how things with the risk of geopolitical things that are happening with El Nino, with the Russia war with Ukraine, how is it affecting, for example, soft commodities like cocoa and coffee, and of course, like, you know, with the beverage prices hiking up so much because of the El Nino, how is this affecting the market, Shan?
Very good. Raza, the way the markets are behaving, I think we need to understand commodity. This is the latest report that we'll put it on our link of this show, Commodities Market Outlook, and the heading says it all. Resilient prices amid global headwinds. Sure. So once you talked about the soft commodities and the base metals and the beverages, commodities will remain steady. The prices, some of the commodities will go up, like aluminum prices will go up by 20%, LNG prices, oil prices, we will have cocoa, the prices will go up. Weather patterns are going differently.
Oh, yes.
Market anxieties are there. You have geopolitical risk, as you rightly mentioned. You have non-state actors making an influence on the market. You have supply constraints. Stockpiles are going low. So these are some of the factors, you know, that are making huge impact on the commodities, whether it's food or whether it's base metal or soft commodities.
Correct.
So overall, I think the markets are expecting some commodities will go up. Like last year, gold and coffee went up by 13%.
Yes.
Sugar 4%, cotton 2%. But on the other side, like WTI, Brent went by 10%. Soya prices and zinc prices went down by 15%. Heating oil went down by 23%. Yes. Palladium went down by 38%. Natural gas prices went down by 44%. So some
amazing how he knows all the percentages, right?
It is so simple. It is so simple. It is so simple. So some commodities will go up and some commodities will go down. But overall, we expect commodity prices to remain stable. But yes, with the demand going up, the commodity prices will eventually surge, and it will have an impact on the markets globally.
That's true, Shan, especially with like, because you know the green movement and everything that's going on with the EV cars and everything, and the need for them to have nickel and copper.
Yes, yes.
What do you think, how that's going to affect like nickel and copper in that sense? Like,
nickel and copper prices, you have touched one of my favorite topics. EV market, the sale of EV market will go up by 29% in 2024. amounting to 16.5 million units. That is more than a quarter of the global automotive market in 2024. So that is huge. Nickel and copper prices, they were down last year, but I think eventually with green revolution coming and EV on the upsurge, I think nickel, copper, lithium, cobalt prices will eventually rise in 24, 25. And those countries will benefit who have got huge reserves of deposits of nickel and copper, like Indonesia, Australia. These are some of the countries, or Dominican Republic of Congo, they will tend to benefit. On the other hand, countries like Malaysia, they will tend to benefit because LNG prices will go up, oil prices will go up. Correct. So you know that will going to benefit some countries. Some countries will be the winners, some countries will be the losers. That is part of the equation everywhere. Yeah. So I think nickel and copper prices will eventually go up.
That's true. That's very true. And Shan, of course, like, you know, with the whole, you know, stigma of most European countries no longer like buying from Russia in terms of the aluminum, that's also some factors into that, like, you know, increase in price, right?
Yes, the geopolitical risk is getting deeper. We have been talking about geopolitical risk when nobody was touching about it in 2017, 2018. So I think geopolitical risk with the Russia-Ukraine war, it has been quite it has made a significant impact on the market. The markets are a bit jittery because the supply constraints, supply disruption, uneventful events can happen anywhere in the world. So I think that will make a huge impact. So commodity prices on the overall, they will have impact from exogenous factors.
Exactly.
So once the exogenous factors make an impact, the commodity prices can go on the upsurge.
That's true. Thank you, Shan. And you guys heard it. So prices are going to go up. You have an idea of that. And of course, we're going to be putting all the percentages and everything that Shan mentioned on the video as well. And Shan, of course, you know, we always know it's not always doom and gloom, you know, so especially when you mentioned the markets are jittery, and I think we're all jittery a little bit about the whole geopolitical factors and what's going on with Russia and here and there. So can you give us some positive factors for our viewers out there to not be too jittery, you know, and to really, like, you know, give them some leeway in making better decisions or benefits?
Absolutely. We are back to 1970 era. So in the 1970 era, how people benefited, they invested in real estate, they invested in gold, they invested in arts, they invested in silver. So if you have made investment in these asset classes, you should be, you know, you should be feeling at peace, you know. Your peace of mind is more important than going through sleepless nights. And at IQI, we always make an effort to give you market intelligence report that is like 2 to 3 quarters ahead of the mainstream media. True. Mainstream media talk about it 2-3 quarters later. We were talking about stagflation in November 2020.
I remember.
And people started talking about in September 2021, December 2021. So we were like 3 to 4 quarters ahead of the mainstream media. So at IQI, we always believe that your peace of mind is more important. So if you have invested in gold, silver, real estate, you know, arts, agriculture, you should be fine.
Excellent. That's wonderful. And especially the fact that you mentioned that we always like mention things a few quarters before. I know that for a fact because I remember putting those two together and showing like, oh, this is what we did and this is what they said, you know, kind of thing. So Shan, thank you for that. That really, like, you know, puts us a little bit more in ease in that sense with all the factors of the risk happening. So I think this show is going to go forward with like your extraordinary insights, and we're going to show all of our viewers out there how to really dissect and understand the economy. We're going to give you the basics. We're going to give you, so the beginning of the show, we're going to give you some basics, and then after that, we're going to give you some of the outlooks of like how things are going to go, so that at least you can have a bit of a understanding in the beginning, and then we'll go to give you some data to make those decisions as we go along. So join us in this show. And Shan, thank you so much once again for having this wonderful idea and bringing us all together to, like, you know, get the world out there, to get some more, you know, decision-making smarts, you know, because we all watch CNN, we all watch BBC and everything like that. We all watch the news, you know, but at the end of the day, some of us are just sitting there and looking at it with like a little bit of a stress down there, you know. So it's good to understand these things, because then instead of stressing when you watch the news, you'll actually know what's really going on on and to make those news a decision-making basis for later on instead of being too jittery about it, as we mentioned before. Right?
Absolutely.
100%. So thank you so much, Shan, and thank you to our viewers for joining us for the first episode of Coffee with Shan and Dante. We're going to come back to you guys with another awesome episode very soon. So tune in, stay in touch, subscribe to IQI channel, which this is going to be airing on, and we'll see you very soon. Don't forget to comment as well. See
Thank
all
you.
soon.
Bye-bye.